Meet Mr. Frisco, a realtor selling residential real estate in Frisco and far north Dallas. As a former professional athlete, track and field, and strength and conditioning coach, Mr. Frisco immigrated to the USA 20 years ago with $50 in his pocket, a suitcase, and zero English to pursue the American dream and build a successful real estate business. Hardworking, persistent, customer service, and detail-oriented, Mr. Frisco strives to secure a smooth closing on his client's biggest investment, their home. He puts his experience and knowledge to serve his clients the best way possible. Building his business by referral allows him to maintain relationships with his clients and serve them even after the transaction is closed. This is Frisco Realty News with Mr. Frisco.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Mr. Frisco podcast where real talk meets real estate, local vibes, and the people shaping Frisco's future. Here is what I have got for you today. First, we will go over the latest Frisco housing market numbers and I will break down what the trends really mean. In today's buyers and sellers tip, we will talk about how to prevent common home issues like mold, leaks, and pests. I am joined by Chrissy Peterson, architect and owner of Chrissy Design. And in our Frisco News segment, I will highlight the official groundbreaking of Grand Park and what this major lifestyle project could mean for recreation, property values, and a long-term demand in Frisco. All right, Frisco, quick April market update. Median price for an existing home is $657,500. That's a 0.4% higher than April last year and basically flat month to month, down 0.1% from March. Inventories where you really feel the change. We have 893 homes for sale. That's 21.5% higher than last year and a big 27.7% jump just from March to April. More options, more competition. Sales picked up too. We had 278 homes sold. That's up 2.3% from last year and up 17.1% compared with March. Homes are still moving fast. So median days on the market is 18 days, which is 5.3% faster than last year and 7 days faster than March. Now pending sales. This is the what's next number. Came in at 166 homes. That's down 9.8% from last year and down 17.8% from March, which can signal the market is slowing a bit. Months of supply is 5.6 months. And that's considered a balanced market. And it's higher than March. So what's that mean? I would call April a balanced market with mixed signals. On one hand, inventory exploded. When listings jumped that much, buyers suddenly have choices and sellers don't automatically win just by showing up. So if you're selling, price and presentation matter more now. You can be the most expensive house on the street and expect miracles. But here is the fun part. Homes are still selling in 18 days a median. That tells me good homes, priced right, are still getting attention fast. The slowdown clue is pending sales dropping. That can mean buyers are getting picky, waiting for the right deal, or just taking a breath after a busy spring start. So, buyers, more inventory means less pressure. You can negotiate more, and you don't have to panic offer on everything. Sellers, you can still win, but you need a smart plan, pricing, repairs, staging, and a strong marketing. If you want me to break down your neighborhood specifically, what's selling, what's sitting, and what price actually works, message me. I will send you a quick game plan for your exact area in Frisco. And for this week, buyers and sellers tip, let's talk about something every homeowner should keep an eye on: mold, leaks, and pests. The good news is most of these problems can be prevented with a little regular maintenance. Start with moisture. Check under the sink, around toilets, windows, and your water heater. Small leaks can turn into a big repair fast. Also, make sure bathrooms and kitchen have good ventilation and help prevent mold. For pests, keep food sealed, take trash out regularly, and seal small gaps around doors, windows, and pipes. Uh, Even tiny openings can invite unwanted guests. And don't forget your gutters. Uh, when they're clogged, water can back up and cause damage. A few simple checks today can save you money, stress, and headaches later. Now let's welcome my guest, Chrissy Peterson, architect and owner of Chrissy Design. Hey, Chrissy, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Victor?
You made it. Was it bad traffic?
No, not that bad.
Not that
Good
bad.
time of day.
Good time of day. Little Elm?
Little Elm, yes.
Oh boy. Okay, we are kind of neighbors, so.
Yeah, 30 minutes
Yeah,
anywhere, right?
Well, it's the traffic in the area is getting worse and worse. I don't know.
It
It's good
is.
for me anyway. So good. I don't know.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. So you're an architect, and for how long?
I have been a residential architect for 10 years, and I was in commercial for 2 before that.
Okay, so but do you do now residential or
Yes.
only?
Only
Strictly
residential.
only.
Unless I have a client that I really like and they have a commercial project, I'll consider it.
All right. Why?
I find that having been in residential for so long, you go back to commercial and there's so many different code things that you have to consider, that I don't deal with every day in residential, and residential just comes really easy to me now. So going back and doing something and having to, do all the research is time consuming, and I don't want a client to pay for my struggle.
Okay. So, uh, my experience with the real estate, I don't do commercial, but anyway, people that buy a house, they're more attached to more emotional. Okay, commercial is, I don't know how it's a commercial, but it's more business there. Um, doesn't that bother you? Give you more headaches and difficulties?
People ask me that all the time, and I would say, no, it doesn't bother me. I actually love the personal aspect of it. I love to get to know my clients and understand their story and how they live and how they operate and how I can help change their lives because, residential is something, your home is something you go into every day. It's where you spend majority of your time. And so that to me is where I find joy and I feel like I can make a difference and bring value. Whereas commercial, like you said, it's a business. So at the end of the day, if something costs too much, people just get rid of it like it's nothing. Whereas a homeowner is like, no, but I really love this. It's really beautiful. How do we make it work? Or where can we cut budget here to make this better? And so I find that if you find the right client, because, it is about the client, that it can be really enjoyable and a fun process. And you can usually make a new friend.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense. I like it too. I like it too. I like I never tried much of the commercial, but uh, work with the first time home buyers or people that are, want to upgrade and even their multiple time they bought, they always excited about
Mhm.
buying a new home. And it's more emotional, but it's worth it. Yes, I think you're right at that point. Um, you said 10 years.
Yes.
And why did you start your own company?
I started my own company because growing up, my dad worked for himself, and so I always knew that that's what I wanted to do. That was the goal, and so I started working in small firms first, and everything was very hands-on. I was very close with both my bosses in the commercial side and residential. I never worked for a large firm because I always felt like I was gonna be a number at a firm, and I didn't wanna get pigeonholed into drawing bathrooms or drawing, one specific part of something. And so knowing that I eventually wanted to do that, I was very hands-on with my bosses, and I learned every aspect of it, and so knowing that, eventually that was the goal, I started to enjoy every aspect of architecture and really felt like I had a good grasp and control over things, and I eventually was like, I wanna be the one making the design decisions, being the one that first comes up with the initial design, because when I worked for someone else, the boss made the design and then you just put it into CAD and made it work. And so while that was great and I learned a whole lot, I wanted to be the one doing the design, like, that's where the fun was, so you had to go out on your own to do that.
Wow. All right. Yeah. Well, so you're an entrepreneur. Okay. The entrepreneurship is in your blood, you know.
It is.
That's okay. All right. So, what's the thing that usually people overlook when they design, a house to live in?
That's a good question. Um, I don't know that I could say they overlook one thing. Um, well, a lot of people, unless they've gone through the process of designing a custom home or a full remodel, they don't understand what all goes into a home, all the things that make it function. And a lot of people just see pretty pictures and think, "Ooh, I want that," but they don't really know how to get to that. Um, So I would say a lot of people don't realize how long it takes to get to a custom home design or to get to, a full remodel on a house. They overlook the amount of time that it takes to, one, for me to come up with designs and figure out how to make what they want work, but two, for them to kind of sit with it and realize that they have to understand how it works and how it's going to function and be comfortable with it, because most architects will show you a few options for what you're looking for, and sometimes you see an option that you're like, "Oh, I never thought about that. What if we did that?" But then you abandon what you've always been thinking, so sometimes people in the back of their mind will be like, "Well, should I have done that instead?" So I find that if you take the time and really look at different options and figure out what you actually want, it's better than rushing through it because I want this done by Christmas. Because most people, they're like, "Oh, how long is it gonna take? A couple of weeks to design?" And you're like, "Oh, hold on, time out. We can design your bathroom in a couple of weeks, but when you're talking about a full home remodel or a custom home, there's so much more that goes into that and so much more thought that they just don't realize because they're like, "Oh, well, can't you just do that real quick?"
Yeah, wow. Well, that actually is my next question. How do you balance the functionality, the practical part of the home for everyday living with with the beauty of the home? Okay, so because sometimes people believe that it's beautiful, but how easy is to implement it practically and to be functional for everyday living.
So for me, function is key. If it doesn't function, I don't care how pretty it is, it just doesn't work. It creates chaos for your life. If your home doesn't work with you and make your routines easier, you're going to be stressed out trying to find things, running across the house because you don't have a closet here that you need to go get something out of. And no one thought about that. Whereas if we think about these things up front and we make it function for the way you live, because we all live differently, then it can really be beautiful in a sense that it's not only looks pretty, but it makes your life easier. It's stress-free.
Yeah, actually, I did two renovations at home, and uh, I just I want that, and I'm a realtor, but not contractor or designer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but do you know how much that's gonna take to do it? So then when I go through, I said, oh, that's not even worth it to start. Okay, so people don't understand that apparently, and it's much more deeper in an architectural part because you design an entire home, not to just a kitchen or one part of the home.
Right.
But what I know for that many years in the real estate is that actually the trends, the design trends, everything trends come from the builders somehow. Okay, people go buy new home, they see what builder has, and everything then spreading in the older homes that they are renovated because people like that trend. And what exactly is the trend now that you really like and you really don't like?
Hmm. The one that I don't like, I can tell you first, because that's real easy. I am not a modern house gal. I can't get with it. To me, a home has character. It has your personal items. Something that is just stark and white and clean and there's nothing anywhere. I could go stay for a couple of days like a hotel, but to live there, it does not feel right to me. I can't do it. So when people really want to like a super modern design, I'm like, "Oh, I'm probably not your architect. That's not that's not what I'm good at." Whereas I also find that some people say modern, and I think flat roofs and white walls and that sort of thing where they're talking about just more not, very traditional. They want more modern, kind of transitional finishes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, I can work with that."
Yeah, I see that trend now with the modern designs and with the builders and what's going on in the market, and so people just go after that. But yeah, more traditional style is more simple, more functional. I believe that's my opinion too. Clients they have their own. All right. Well, if somebody wants to use your service as an architect, how can they reach out to you?
Well, they can email me, they can call me, they can text me, they can go to my website and submit a form. I have a little inquiry thing at cshortdesigns.com. Um, and all of my contact info's on there. You can go to my Instagram. You can see that's usually more up to date than my website, I'll be honest. But you can see work that I've been doing, some things that I'm working on currently. And you can send me a DM on Instagram.
And what's the email?
Chrissy, CHRISSY at cshortdesigns.com.
All right. Well, thank you very much for attending my podcast, and I look forward to see you around.
Me too.
Thank you. So Frisco is growing again, but this time it's not just about rooftops. The city officially broke ground on Grand Park, a future 1,000-acre park stretching from the Dallas Northway toward Lake Louisville. Phase 1, called the Civic Room, will cover 58 acres and is expected to include an amphitheater, shade structures, restrooms, an orchard, and Arrowhead Pond with kayaking and paddle boarding planned. The projected opening is October 2027, and this is a big deal. Why? Because Frisco is not just building homes, it's a building lifestyle. Parks like this create community, recreation, and long-term appeal. And when lifestyle improves, demand usually follows. So, Grand Park is not just a park story, it is a real estate story. Thankful for tuning in today. And if you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe to my podcast for more insights on Frisco best spots, local events, and the housing market. Until next time.